Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the NFL slate for this weekend for the conference championships. We got two games on Sunday, two-game slate to break down. You know, even though NBA is kind of my full focus right now, and I've been, really grinding in NBA, making NBA videos every single day, I still do play NFL. I'm still posting NFL stuff on Patreon, still posting core plays over there, still play NFL every week, so I did want to get some NFL content up on the channel for this two-game slate, and I will likely have a video up for the Super Bowl as well for the Showdown slate, so still going to be making NFL content for the rest of the season. But we're going to break down this two-game slate for Sunday. Like we do all our videos, we'll go position by position. We'll start off at quarterback, go through tight end, talk about all the viable guys on this two-game slate, what I'm liking at each position. Just, before we get started with the video, guys, as always, I would appreciate it if you'd hit that like button down below. If you are new to the channel here, be sure to click that subscribe button as well. Click the notification bell so that way you do get notified every time I upload. You'll also get notified every time I do go live. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at Sunday's two-game slate. We'll start off at quarterback. So we got four options here. We got Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady. So looking at the four quarterbacks on this slate, I think Mahomes is by far the top option for me. He's the guy that I want to try and build around. If I'm only playing one lineup on this slate, and most likely I will not be, I'll probably be playing like 10 to 20 lineups. But if I'm only playing one lineup on this slate, I think I would want to build around Mahomes. He's my favorite quarterback on both sides. $7,600 on DK, $38 on Yahoo. He's actually cheaper than Josh Allen on Yahoo, so I definitely prefer Mahomes over there. So, he got the concussion last week, but he's already been cleared to play. He's cleared the concussion protocol. He's going to be full go come Sunday. I'm not worried about, what happened last week. I expect Mahomes to be full go here. I like, this game a lot. I think this is the more appealing game of the two on the slate. If we do look at totals for this week, right now in the Green Bay Tampa Bay game, you got a 51.5 total with Green Bay favored by 3.5. And then in the Bills-Chiefs game, it opened with a 50 total, but since then it's been bet up to 54. A lot of that could be due to Mahomes now playing 54 total with a three-point spread favoring the Chiefs. So I think the second game of the day is the more appealing one to target. I'm going to have, probably stacks of both games, but definitely going to have more exposure to this one overall, the Bills-Chiefs game. I think this could be a shootout. Both these offenses are obviously very explosive. I know when these teams played earlier this year in the regular season, it was a really low-scoring game, but the weather was really bad that week. I think it was a Thursday night game. The final score was 26-17. It was, just a sloppy game. I think it was real wet that day. Weather should be fine here. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be sunny, normal weather. So I really like this game. I love Mahomes. I think he's the number one quarterback on the slate by far. And the pricing on Draftkings, it's not that it's not that tight. Like, you can still fit in Mahomes with his receivers on the slate, even though it's only two games and we don't have a ton of options. Like, you look at the pricing this week, guys aren't that expensive. Like, you can still fit in Mahomes with his receivers. So I like paying up for Mahomes. I think Josh Allen is definitely my next favorite quarterback. I would probably rank the quarterbacks how they're priced. Mahomes number 1, Allen number 2, Rodgers 3, and Brady 4. Obviously, on a two-game slate, if you're playing multiple lineups, I think all four of these guys are viable. We've seen all four of these guys have upside. Brady, I think, probably has the least upside, but we've seen, even at times, Brady can go out there and throw for 300 yards and multiple touchdowns. He will be missing Antonio Brown this week, but I don't think that's going to have too much of an effect on Brady. We should still see him pepper Godwin and Evans with targets. I don't mind Brady at 6,100, but yeah, I think Mahomes, Josh Allen, probably the two guys I'm going to be keying in on the most this week, and then I'll be mixing in Rodgers and Brady, but a lot of my exposure at quarterback is going to go to Mahomes and Allen. Now moving on to running back, I think running back, kind of a straightforward position this week. You have Aaron Jones at the top for $6,500. The price tag on Aaron Jones is not that high. He's pretty affordable. It's a tough matchup, though, against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has probably the best run defense in the league. They've been elite against the run just over the last few years. It is a tough spot for Aaron Jones. When these teams played earlier in the regular season, he didn't have that great of a game. 10 carries for 15 yards, and he did have a touchdown, 3 catches for 26 yards. He was not very efficient at all. I know the Buccaneers are going to be getting back Vita Vea, so that just boosts their defensive line even more. I just don't think I want to pay for Aaron Jones at $6,500. I think I'd rather get in the expensive receivers on this slate, like Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams. I know those guys are a little bit more expensive than Jones, but I think at running back, Leonard Fournette, he looks like one of the more appealing options on the slate, and it's crazy to say that, but Leonard Fournette's been really good in the playoffs. Through 2 games, he's got 23 and 21 DK points. He's been getting all the volume. Even with Ronald Jones active last week, Fournette still got 22 touches, 17 carries, also got 5 receptions on 6 targets. Like, they're just giving Fournette all the volume right now. When they get down to the goal line, he's been the guy that's been punching it in near the goal line. Against Green Bay, a team that has really struggled against the run this season, I like Fournette quite a bit at 5,300, and I wouldn't be surprised if he outscores Aaron Jones. So I like Fournette at 5,300. I like him on Yahoo as well. He's $22. He's coming in $9 less than Jones. So taking the savings, going with Fournette, I think does make a lot of sense at running back. But then you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who I do like quite a bit if he's able to play. He was limited in Thursday's practice. We haven't got an update yet on Edwards-Helaire as I'm recording this video. I'm recording this video on Friday afternoon, so this will be something to monitor heading up to Sunday. I do assume that CEH does play this week. I think the expectation is that he is going to play. And if he does play and he's full go, at 5K against the Bills, a team that's been pretty bad against the run this year, a team that you can run on, I do like Clyde Edwards-Helaire quite a bit here. I mean, we saw when the guy was healthy, like, the volume was there. He's a guy that can catch passes. Like, they'll involve him in the passing game. Obviously, when they get down near the goal line, the Chiefs are not a team that runs the ball a ton near the goal line, which obviously hurts Edwards-Helaire a little bit. Like, his touchdowns, he's only had 5 touchdowns the entire regular season. Like, in terms of touchdown, he doesn't have a ton of upside there, but he's probably going to get 13 to 15 carries, probably 4 to 5 targets. At 5K, I do like him quite a bit. I think he's definitely a guy I'll be looking to, assuming he is able to play this week. If he's out, Darrell Williams would be the next guy to go to, because last week with Clyde Edwards-Helaire out, Darrell Williams, he was the number 1 back for the Chiefs, got 13 carries, 4 receptions. I would expect similar usage for him again this week. So, you know, if Clyde Edwards-Helaire plays, I like him quite a bit. If he's out, again, then Darrell Williams, you could look to at 4,800. But I do want to talk about Devin Singletary. So I liked Devin Singletary quite a bit last week, and it didn't really go well. He only got 7 carries for 25 yards, just 3 catches for 12 yards. The Bills came out in that game, and they literally just threw the ball every play. I think they they called 15 plays before they finally actually ran the ball. Like, they threw 15 straight passes before they finally gave a carry to Singletary. Like, they did not run the ball at all last game. Their plan coming into this game could be similar. They could just come out here and just throw the ball a ton, but the Chiefs are a team that you can run on. I do like Singletary at 4,500. With Zach Moss on IR and done for the season, I mean, it's going to be Singletary just getting all the work. He should get the goal line work if they do get near the goal line. He's a guy that can catch passes as well. In what should be a high-scoring game, in what should be a shootout, I like Singletary as a value, and I think given how much he struggled lately, given that he kind of disappointed last week, I think even on a 2-game slate, his ownership's probably going to be pretty low if I had to guess. I think Fournette, Jones, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think all those guys are going to get way more ownership. So given the the discount ownership and the price discount, I do like Devin Singletary quite a bit at 4,500. I think he's someone I will for sure have exposure to in tournaments, just looking for a way to kind of get different on a short slate like this. I don't see a ton of people rostering him, and the upside, I mean, it's still there because he's just getting all the work. He's clearly their number 1 back right now, so I like him quite a bit on both sides. Definitely someone I have interest in once again this week. But really, that kind of does it for running back. I would say ranking the running backs, factoring in price, I would probably go Fournette number 1, Singletary 2, Clyde Edwards-Helaire 3, and then Aaron Jones 4. And obviously, if Edwards-Helaire is out, then you could swap Williams with Edwards-Helaire. But if Edwards-Helaire is out, I would probably put Aaron Jones ahead of Darrell Williams. But that kind of does it for running back. I mean, like Ronald Jones, if you want someone in tournaments with upside, I mean, you could target him. He did get 13 carries last week. Both him and Fournette did get a ton of volume. That was a pretty positive game script for them, though. In this game against Green Bay on the road, as I think they're 3-point dogs. Yeah, 3.5-point dogs. Maybe we see Tampa Bay have to throw a little bit more here. I don't know if Jones is going to get that much usage again this week, but if you want to go to someone with owners or that's low owned that has upside, that's going to be low owned, then Ronald Jones you could look to. I think I'd take Devin Singletary over Ronald Jones, but Rojo is someone in tournaments that at least is appealing on a 2-game slate, just because I don't think too many people are going to go to him given, the usage that we've seen from Fournette. I do prefer Fournette. I feel more comfortable rostering Fournette right now, but Ronald Jones as a way to get different, I think, is viable. But we'll go ahead and move on to wide receivers. So at the top of the receiver position, I mean, Davante Adams, you can basically play him every slate on a 2-game slate. I have nothing negative to say about Davante Adams. He's obviously a great play here. Tampa Bay secondary is one that is definitely beatable. We know Aaron Rodgers is going to target Davante Adams a ton. I mean, he's going to get double-digit targets here. I think between the expensive receivers, between him, Tyreek Hill, and Stephon Diggs, I think he's probably my favorite, even though Hill's a little bit cheaper and even though Diggs is $1,000 cheaper. I think Adams is still my favorite receiver to pay up for, but I do like Tyreek Hill quite a bit. Like, we just know the upside that Tyreek Hill has. I know Buffalo has a good secondary. They have some good corners. I think Hill didn't do that great against Buffalo. Yeah, he only had 3 catches for 20 yards against them earlier in the regular season, but I wouldn't let that scare me off of Tyreek Hill. Like, this is another guy that's just going to get a ton of volume, has massive upside, has a ton of big play potential. Obviously, with Mahomes playing, I feel way more confident in Tyreek Hill now. I do have interest in him. I think I would slightly prefer Adams, but obviously Tyreek Hill is in play on a short slate like this. Same with Stephon Diggs. I think I'd prefer Hill over Diggs. Again, I would probably rank the receivers, the top 3 receivers, kind of how they're priced. Adams 1, Hill 2, Diggs 3. But on a short slate, all these guys are going to be in my player pool for sure. But in the 5K range, I think this is where we can find some appealing options. So with Antonio Brown already ruled out, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin should both be seeing a little bit of a boost in their target share. Evans is $5,800, Godwin is $5,400. Both are pretty appealing in terms of price tag. I think Godwin is my favorite at $5,400. I really like that price on him. On Yahoo, he's coming in actually a little bit more expensive than Evans, but I think I'd still prefer Godwin even on Yahoo where he's more expensive than Evans. Both these guys are in play. I think both these guys are probably going to get double-digit targets this week. But there's a chance, though, that maybe like Jair Alexander shadows Mike Evans, which could be a little bit of a negative impact. I mean, Evans is still such a big body receiver that he'll find ways to get open. But I do like Godwin at $5,400. I think I slightly prefer him over Evans this week. I mean, at this point, we kind of know. I don't want to say we know what kind of game we're going to get from the Tampa Bay receivers, but we know the targets are going to be there, especially now that Antonio Brown's out. That just makes it clear that Godwin and Evans are going to be the top 2 receivers for Tampa Bay this week. Like I said, I think we're going to get double-digit targets for both. I think this could be a game where Green Bay gets ahead, and we see Tampa Bay, maybe have to throw a little bit more than they did last week. I like Godwin a lot at $5,400. I think his price tag makes him a very appealing option. I think Evans is in play as well. You can obviously stack these guys up with Tom Brady if you want to, but I'm fine playing them as a one-off. Specifically, Godwin, I think at $5,400 looks like a really good option from the Tampa Bay side. But in terms of value at receiver, John Brown I do like quite a bit as a value. So he burned me on the wild card round. He got 4 targets, 0 catches. He put up a donut, and then the next week, the week after that, he gets 11 targets, 8 catches for 62 yards. Basically, just trolls us with a really good game the week after. At this point, I really have no idea what we're going to get from John Brown, but in a game against Kansas City where they will probably be trailing, where we should just see a ton of plays run, a ton of pass attempts, it should be a high-scoring game in general. I think the upside is definitely there for John Brown. I don't know if he gets 11 targets again, but I think 7 to 8 targets seems pretty likely. He's only $4,300, so he makes a lot of sense as a cheap option at receiver. I do like him quite a bit. He is very affordable on Yahoo, so I think he looks like a really good option over there, coming in at $14 on Yahoo. If you need a pay-down option at receiver, I do like John Brown quite a bit on both sides. I think he's probably my favorite value receiver under 5K, but I do want to mention Scotty Miller. So with Antonio Brown out, I think Scotty Miller is probably the biggest beneficiary there. I'm not too confident in Scotty Miller. I really have no idea what kind of line we can expect from him, but he should be on the field way more. He should be running more routes. He's basically going to take over Antonio Brown's spot in the in that slot role that Antonio Brown was in. At $3,400, we've seen Scotty Miller, at least when given the opportunity to play, he's a guy that can spike some upside. He had some big games during the regular season. Had that game against the Raiders, against the Panthers. He should have had a better game that week. I remember because I played him and he dropped a touchdown that week. But when given the opportunity to play, you can definitely see Scotty Miller go for 6 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown. At $3,400 on a 2-game slate, we're trying to find guys that have upside at low ownership. I don't think Scotty Miller is going to be that popular this week, so I do like him quite a bit at $3,400 now that Antonio Brown has officially been ruled out. I think Miller should benefit. Tyler Johnson should get some more playing time as well, but I do slightly prefer Miller over him. I'm just a little bit more confident in Miller. I think in terms of the pecking order, Miller is ahead of Tyler Johnson, so give me Miller over Johnson. But if you want to take a dart throw on Tyler Johnson, minimum salary, you could do that as well. He should see more playing time with Antonio Brown out. But that really does it for receiver. I think that kind of breaks down the receiver position. We'll go ahead and move on to tight end. I mean, tight end on this position or on this slate is about I would say it's a thin position and it's about as straightforward as a position as it gets. I think you just want to jam in Travis Kelce here. I love him on both sides. $8K on DraftKings. He's expensive, but I think he's worth the price tag, especially when you look at the receiver position or the tight end position, and there's just no other options to play. Sure, you could play Robert Tonyan. Sure, you could play Gronk and hope he scores a touchdown. But, I mean, once you get past Gronk, like, I'm not confident at all at any of these other tight ends, like Cameron Brate, Dawson Knox. Like, I'm just not confident in these guys. I know Travis Kelce might be like 80% owned this week, but I think you just want to play him. I mean, if he has one of his normal games and puts up, let's say, 25 DK points, it is very likely that no other tight end even comes close to that. Like, Kelce could put up 25, and then Bob Tonyan puts up 10, and there's no other tight end that puts up, more than 10 points. So I think we just want to eat the chalk here with Kelce, just jam him in. The matchup's good, too. Like, Buffalo has been bad against tight ends this year. They've definitely been a team you can attack, over the middle. At this point, we know what we're getting from Travis Kelce. I mean, the dude's as consistent as it gets. He's going to get double-digit targets. He's always a threat to score a touchdown, especially when they get near the red zone. He's basically a lot for 20-plus Draftkings points, it feels like. I mean, he's just been so damn consistent this season, even at 8K, even though he's one of the most expensive guys overall on the slate. Given how thin tight end is this week, I think we just want to jam in Kelce. If you want to get contrarian and maybe fade Kelce, Bob Tonyan's probably the next guy you could look to at 3,600. I'm not confident in all of him. Like, we don't know what we're going to get from Robert Tonyan, but should probably get 5 to 6 targets. If he catches a touchdown, you could maybe see him make the winning lineup, but I think it's very likely that we're going to see Travis Kelce in the winning lineup and that Kelce's going to be the guy you want to have in your tight end spot. So I probably won't be really getting different here. I think if I play 10 lineups this week, I'll probably have 100% exposure to Kelce. He's just going to be the guy that I lock into the position just because I'm not confident in any of these other tight ends, even though they're cheap. Like Gronkowski, we've seen, has a really low floor. I mean, last week he had 1 catch for 14 yards. The week before that, he wasn't target, or he got 1 target, 0 catches. Like, Gronk could literally give you a 0 this week, and I wouldn't be surprised. Bob Tonyan could give you 6 fantasy points, and I wouldn't be surprised. Whereas Kelce, I feel like he's a lock to get 20-plus basically every week, especially in a great game environment like this, in a game that should be high-scoring, and in a good matchup against Buffalo. Basically, all the boxes are checked for Travis Kelce. So I'll be building around him for sure. Definitely going to be stacking him in Mahomes in a ton of lineups. But, I mean, I think that really does it for tight end. Like, I know Cameron Brate got some targets last week. He got 4 catches for 50 yards on 5 targets. Still, I'm not really interested in him. Dawson Knox, he's actually been somewhat good this year, or he's been somewhat decent. You're going to need a touchdown from him, though. Like, he's not going to get there on yards. He's going to have to score a touchdown. He's basically just a dart throw. If you hope that Kelce disappoints, then you play one of these guys. But like I said, I'm just going to be jamming in Kelce. So that really does it for the position-by-position breakdown, guys, for Sunday's 2-game slate. Should be a fun one. Should be 2 great games. I'm really excited for Sunday to watch these games. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, hit that like button before you do get out of here. Hit the subscribe button as well. If you are new to the channel, be sure to click the subscribe button. Obviously, I do upload a ton of NFL content to this channel. Now that the season's over, obviously I'm not going to be making as many NFL videos, but I'll still have a video up for the Super Bowl when the Super Bowl gets here in a couple weeks. Obviously, I'm making a video for this slate as well, and I'm still uploading NBA videos daily. I'm uploading a ton of NBA content to the channel, so hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell so that way you do get notified every time I upload. You will also get notified every time I do go live. But yeah, best of luck this week, guys. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one. Good luck, guys. Peace.